Okay, here we are doing an introduction to the Flash interface. So we'll just take a look at some of the parts of the program, and as we introduce more complexity, we'll talk about different menu options and different commands and different features of the application. But just to get you started, we'll show you what's familiar to you. The toolbox on the left side here has a lot of tools that should look similar to items that you've seen in other programs, like the selection tool, your text and Bezier curve, pencil and paintbrush, your fill colors, fill bucket. And we know that any tool that has a notched out corner has more similar tools underneath. So if we wanted something related to the oval, I could click and hold here and see other shapes. If I wanted to see other types of fills, I can click and hold there and see the ink bottle and the paint bucket. And taking a look at the brushes, we see the spray brush and the brush tool. In our central area here, we've got the stage, and the stage is where all your action happens. To zoom in and out of the stage, we can use our gauge in the top left, or we can actually type in a specific value. So with this screen resolution, I'm going to hit 75%. And you should notice here too that with the animations that we do, we'll probably just be doing one scene, but we could have a multi-scene animation, but that's not something that you need to worry about. Above the stage is the timeline, and we know that from doing our stop motions that each cell with a little circle in it indicates a unique frame of our animation, and as we play those together, it gives us that illusion of motion. And we'll take a look a little bit later about why layers are important to animation. But for now, we just need to know that as we move along from left to right here, that each cell creates that unique image that provides that illusion of motion. Just a little bit about the tools on this particular part of the window. We've got our new layer. Obviously, that looks like the turn page. Folder for when we want to organize really complex animations. And if we need to get rid of a layer, we're going to click on the trash can. This section in the middle is our different onion skin mode, and that just allows us to look through or peek through what's happening in previous scenes. So if we want to do a frame-by-frame animation and we need to see where the object was located in a previous frame, that gives us an idea of where it is by using that onion skin. Our frames per second is currently 15, and we can change that here, or we can change it in the property inspector. And this last bit tells us at the current frame rate where we are on the timeline. So we're at 0, we don't have any frames. If we're at 15 frames per second and we're at 30, that would tell us that that's 2. We're at 2 seconds. And then on the right side here, we've got our property inspector, and the property inspector will change depending on what you've got selected on the stage. So right now there's nothing on the stage, so it's giving us information about the stage, and again it's telling us 15 frames per second, 640 by 480. So I'm just going to quickly draw a circle here to show you how the properties change. So now, rather than showing me stage properties, it's showing me properties about that oval. So what its fill is, what its fill style is, it's solid, and we've got some other stuff here that really doesn't impact too much on us. Now if I did want to see the properties of the stage again, I just get my selection tool and click on the stage, and there we're back to that, or I could click on the oval and we're back to that. So that's it for a little bit of an introduction, and you can go on to the first lesson, which will take you through a frame-by-frame animation.